Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the One Conscious Love Network. I'm here with my good friend Damara, and today we're going to talk about what is lighting up Damara into her consciousness, but also into creating a love and kind space for others. And so, with that, Damara, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Thank you, Melanie. I love spending time with you, and thanks for sharing your space with me. Let me tell you about myself. Well, I am a passionate person who loves really big. My focus is on really helping people have the best life that they can and honoring who they are and allowing themselves to make freedom of choice by being empowered by their own truth.
Yeah, absolutely. So important, right? And so for those watching maybe that are just starting to step out of their comfort zone, what kind of recommendation would you have? What has worked well for you?
Sure. So many things. I've been on this journey for a very long time, and I'm always like surprised as to where I end up. But when I think about when I sort of started stepping into just really trusting myself and the realm of spirituality and that looked like for me, I think I think we underestimate quiet moments, which is very simple to do. You don't have to ask anybody you just take the time yourself. And we really are bombarded by a lot of information. So we talk about meditation a lot. And if you're just new to meditation, I found that like I'm just not a girl who sits. Like I just don't sit. And I had to accept that about myself. I can sit, but it's not the best way for me to get in the zone, to really hear my own voice. I found I had to busy my body. So I would do like walking meditation. I actually get into a zone when I cook. It's this place that I go that like my body's busy and my spirit's like, hallelujah. We can, listen to what she needs, what I really need to hear. So I think the giving yourself permission to find the way that works for you. It's definitely a practice to sit and be quiet and go for it. And maybe that's just a minute. And I find if you turn on music, that maybe you resonate with. I like the frequency music. That really supports that energy. And I put things around me that I love, and I put myself in a space where I feel good. Turn off the stuff that distracts you and just be. And you know what? I think we need to be patient and give ourselves a breath and be like, okay, well, my mind's swirling. And once you can get past that, you can sit. And even if it's for a minute, give yourself like a pat on the back. It's like a minute more than you did the next day. So I think that we're always shooting and we're listening to a lot of gurus tell us what we have to do and what we don't have to do. But I think it's just getting quiet and just even allowing yourself to ask a question. Maybe there's something that's swirling around inside of you. Maybe you just need to ask that question and then allow some feedback. It's just information for you to take and discern within you. So permission to do it your way, I think is a very and find who you resonate with. Like there are certain people that they will elevate you and activate you in a way that it's like, wow, like it might be different, it might be uncomfortable, it might be whatever, something you've never experienced, but your heart knows. It really knows what's good for you. So just start to trust that heart.
So important to follow that gut feeling, right? That where it's taking us, and being aware of that and being on this path. And so, for you, what has been the biggest change for you personally and your personal experience from becoming into that conscious love? And what have you changed the most into your day
Mm.
to day?
Gosh, that's a big question. It's been such an evolution. I really have been very spiritually and intuitive from a very young age. And I didn't always know what I, was experiencing. I really didn't have anybody around me saying, "Oh yeah, you're listening to this or that." So for a while, I just kind of quieted that or ignored it and got busy. But after I had my first son in my 20s, I it changed me and it opened up a whole different part of me. And it was like all of the information and the downloads and the things that I was receiving, it was like he opened me up to myself. Like this whole another level of love came, and then it was like embracing that. So I I started out by like I've really had strong intuition, and never even knew I was following it when I was following it. But when I really consciously decided to follow it, that's when the doors kind of went, and I think being committed to growing has been the biggest difference for me. And I've had some pretty intense experiences, like we all have things we go through on this, in this earthly plane. And it's not without its very deep challenges. And all throughout kind of my life, I've either watched people be very unhealthy or have had my own very deep health concerns. And so when I really started to set some boundaries, and because I'm an overgiver and because I know things about people that I don't even want to know sometimes, to learn to, ask permission whether they want to hear that or not. And also not to take that energy on, that it's not mine, and learning to discern what is my, like, I'll go in somewhere and I'll be like, oh, I suddenly there's some different thoughts going on, and it's like those aren't even mine. It's like that's not mine, but it took me some time to really understand that. And that's a practice in itself. But I really know from the work that I've done with people spiritually and in business. And I started out early as a massage therapist. So I did body work and got into energy really early on in my 20s. And I just absolutely loved that. And there was always an energy component and things talking to me, and I was seeing things that I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. And I think that openness to accept that um, has really helped me. But what has been a continuing theme for me is that to really honor my body, this vessel, to be able to hold more light. And that has been like a real focus, because I've seen so many of us really gifted, open-hearted, loving people be like, oh, I just want to go hide in a cave, or I cannot be on social media anymore, it's too much for me. And so really concentrating on improving my health, like really. And I've been in natural health for a very long time. Early on I learned that in my 20s my second child was very unhealthy, and I sought what I sought until I sought something different, because there was not the things that were being prescribed to her were not supporting her. And so I went a different route. So she really was a catalyst for me too. It's crazy how my kids have been catalysts for me. And thank you to them. And so that led me into natural healing, which is where I find myself again. And I did some spiritual coaching. I ran I had a retail clothing store. I did real estate investment. Like I did a lot of traditional things. I ran a spa, which, I had some alternative things doing that too. But my heart is really in helping people, because I know that I could not share my passion or really support people in the way that I felt called to when my body was burning out, and I would have illness, and that wasn't serving me, and it wasn't serving anybody else, by not really paying attention. I think it's so important right now too, because what's going on for us toxic water, toxic air, toxic, it's everywhere. And I think our body needs more support than ever. Never mind what's going on energetically with all of the crumbling and a lot of light coming in and a lot of dark and shadow work that's being done. Supporting the body has become very important to me. And so I'm really working on supporting people in taking back their health and trusting themselves to make decisions and not listen to everything out there.
That's so beautiful. And that comes all the way back to that conscious self love. And that's such an important trait
Mhm.
for us to embrace and encourage. And so, for all of those watching, I really encourage you to connect with Damara. And Damara, we're going to put all your information below. And so, it's
Sure.
really important to celebrate our own right to health and consciousness as well. And so, any last
Yeah.
thoughts? Anything you'd want
Well,
to
they
share?
really tie hand in hand. They really do. And technology is advancing and the world is becoming more digital, but there are new and improved things that you can do to really support your body and be discerning. Like really be discerning, and it's okay for you to say no and allow yourself to set up some healthy boundaries so that the stuff that is not for you is not for you. And the stuff that is for you, you can allow that in. So healthy body, mind, and spirit really gets right down to that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please reach out to Tamara, make a new friend. You're going to get so much out of this friendship, as I have.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for your generosity in today's interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie. I appreciate you so much.